Greetings, NACM members and partners. First and foremost, I want to take a moment to thank you all for adapting to a very different environment than we anticipated at the beginning of this year. We have seen your efforts to continue access to justice by creating remote court procedures, doing what you can to keep employees informed, engaged, and employed, and adapting to an unknown. The decisions to move to a virtual conference for 2020 were not easy. I would like to thank the NACM board for their assistance in this endeavor, as well as the staff at the National Center for State Courts, who assist us in all aspects of conference development. Thank you to the State Justice Institute for providing us with the means to bring this conference to you in a virtual format. Even in these moments of change, there are things that remain the same. NACM as a whole continues to partner with other organizations to provide membership and educational opportunities and community. The partners you see here represent greater communication and collaboration, which results in innovative practices for the court management profession. As court managers, our partners are critical to our success. NASJA, the National Association for State Judicial Educators, has helped define and refine practices for judicial branch education. As a partner with NASJA, we look to these leaders for research and development as they maintain a clearinghouse for the exchange of materials, techniques, and information surrounding and continuing education of our judiciary. Every year, there are new developments and theories in the field of professional education, and NASJA provides a forum and platform for our education to grow. NASJA continues to bring experimental learning, cross-sector collaboration, and work-integrated solutions and studies to the forefront of court operations. These educators are hidden figures, furthering knowledge and best practices for the NACM membership. In collaboration with these partners, we are embracing the value of a legal system that ensures those with legal needs have access to justice. We continue to refine specialty programs such as mental health courts and dependency alternative programs for better case outcomes. We are working on cutting-edge initiatives such as online dispute resolution, public safety assessment, and national open data standards, just to name a few. Due to our aggressive efforts to this strong partnership, we can proudly say that we are actively and rapidly collecting and using the data from these initiatives to better our processes and court objectives. Data will continue to be the driving force in bettering our processes and will assist in the information of NACM's 2021 through 2025 national agenda. Even in the midst of a pandemic, we are moving forward with the national agenda, which was first created in 2005. More information is available on the NACM website, linked in today's notes, which also shows the current 5 priorities. As we work toward 2021 through 2025 national agenda, we will continue to create content that will provide practical and provide guidance for NACM and all of our partner organizations. Since the spring of 2020, the courts have been doing great work in a myriad of areas. We collaborated with the community by getting virtual information to citizens and community partners who help them. We engaged in civics and outreach, holding Take Your Child to Work days, virtual law day celebrations, and virtual drug court graduations. We expanded public access to the courts. The rapid expansion of e-filing, the accommodation of appearances by video conference and telephone, and temporary extension of filing timelines could be said to have expanded access while our very doors were shut. We instituted creative uses of technology and social media. In January, the thought of a Zoom courtroom would have been considered more fantasy. The thought that a court and bar would grow closer through virtual meetings perhaps laughable. But these things happened. We promoted education and employee engagement. Prior to the crisis, having top judges and court administrators appear at frontline team meetings was highly aspirational, but it's happening now. This allows line staff judges, and court leaders a chance to connect in a deeper and more productive manner. We continued with community-based programs and services. We found new partners. We have enhanced relationships with healthcare leaders in both government and the healthcare industry, utilizing video connections to hospitals for domestic violence victims who are especially vulnerable when sequestered at home. And we also continued with civil, juvenile, and criminal justice reform. We were fortunate to have been engaging in criminal justice reform prior to the onset of the pandemic. The need to provide compassionate release for low-risk jail and prison inmates was less of a philosophical lift than thereby accomplished faster than it may have been otherwise. We can be proud to have stepped up and be called upon, to have used our strong American tradition of innovation under pressure. Although somewhat counterintuitive, this crisis that has required so many of us to be separated from one another has resulted in us being more connected than ever. Part of what enables our courts to be interconnected, which each other and our communities are relationships. Like your courts, NACM has relationships and partnerships with many national organizations. Our relationships with the organizations seen here are at the core of what we do and allow us to gather valuable input regarding the profession of court management. These relationships also enable us to respond to emerging trends and solutions in the profession at a national level. These situations are also available for review on our site and include We Too in the Legal Workplace, the Joint Technology Committee, the Task Force for Improved Courts Response to Mental Illness, and the Elder Justice Guardianship Tracking System. COVID-19 brought many aspects of life to a standstill, but as administrators of justice, we are near the forefront of essential services. If anything, we have realized just how interconnected we are with stakeholders. I am sure that every member of NACM, all over the country and this world, has similar stories of how they've worked with stakeholders and partner organizations to continue providing essential services and upholding the constitutional rights of all during this pandemic. The lessons that have come from these trying times will likely be able to have some application to various challenges we may encounter in the future. Courts generally are slow to change, always seeking, not making precedent. Nearly overnight, our processes and protocols were adjusted in light of the isolation caused by social distancing health mandates. Our courts faced a crisis not seen for at least 100 years. Our staff, justice partners, and court customers alike feared the unknown. What this virus could do to each of us as individuals and collectively. We faced the fears of our communities, including our own. We went about reinventing how we ensure access and fairness to justice for all. We have overcome. We have prevailed. The media outlets, the general public, rarely applaud the ingenuity and commitment our courts exhibit to our communities. Yet, I say to you, I have never experienced a greater sense of pride for how you rose to meeting the daunting tasks and challenges presented. I am inspired by the hope you have given me for the next crisis, and there will be other crises. But we will once again lead our communities. We may not directly save lives, but we make changes in lives. Yes, we have made changes to a personal and professional behaviors necessitated by the pandemic. What we retain is our connection with one another. Together, we will forge a bold and bright future for courts. We will remain flexible to take on challenges. We will never be deterred from the ultimate goal, adherence to the rule of law and fairness for all. Thank you, NACM members and partners, for your service, commitment, and dedication to our profession.